Rousseau! What a fine goal!
She's away from Noel Maritz and delivers an inviting ball, and it's forced in by Bunny Shaw.
It's Anatone! Oh, superb! Fine Cronin, that's where. Oh, that's outrageous!
Hello and welcome. We are live from the Leigh Sports Village ahead of the FA Cup fifth round tie between Manchester United and Manchester City. These two teams did meet a fortnight ago in the WSL, with Manchester City taking all 3 points that day. United will want to avoid a double dose of humble pie as these two teams battle it out to reach the quarter-final of the FA Cup.
It's not any day, folks, it's Derby Day. Manchester United against Manchester City. Oh, now, that was very high. It's a red. Oh! And that is just what was required. Oh, it's taken quickly. Oh, that is fabulous. What a wonderful goal. Parker takes aim, and it's in on the rebound.
Lozano. Oh, what a goal. Manchester United on the rebound, it's in. And Manchester United have held out.
Go for it here, Wish. She went for the chip again, and it's brilliant again. Yes, it's back-to-back derbies for the two Manchester City sides. 1-0 victors, Man City, when they last met in the league 2 weeks ago. Nonetheless, Manchester United remain fourth in the WSL, 2 points above their local rivals. In the FA Cup, the Red Devils have never made it beyond the quarter-final stage. Last season's semi-finalists, Manchester City, had no less than 8 City players involved in the Arnold Clark Cup with England. They won that on Wednesday night, beating Germany for the first time on home soil. It's Manchester United versus Manchester City in the Vitality Women's FA Cup fifth round. Kick-off here at the Leigh Sports Village in just over 10 minutes' time. And I am delighted to be joined by two people who know all about the importance of this competition. Rachel Brown-Finnis won it back in 2010, and Willie Kirk guided an Everton team to Wembley in 2020. Rachel, this has always been the showpiece event in women's football.
As long as the Women's FA Cup has been around, it has been the trophy you want to get your hands on. And since its home is now Wembley, the FA Cup final, it obviously has the biggest stage in women's football. And I can't wait for another bumper crowd come May time.
And Willie, you was with us a fortnight ago when City did win that game 1-0. Mark Skinner said about a lot of lessons to be learned, and you also alluded to this Manchester United side need to find a way to win the big games.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, if Manchester United want to get to the place they want to get to, which is to compete and win trophies, they have to learn how to win these big games, and there'll be lessons learnt from a fortnight ago, like there has been through the other top 4 games they've had this year, and I'm sure he'll take the positives from that game, but they must learn lessons, they must get on the front foot, and they must really have a go at this City team. Yeah,
Rachel, when you look at this Manchester City side, they've been struggling in the league. Yes, they're picking up form, but could this be their main chance of silverware?
Absolutely. Their other target would be to get into one of the Champions League qualifying spots, the top 3. But aside from that, you know, they've won this Cup 3 times. It means a lot to them as a club, and in a Manchester derby it means even more. You know, Manchester United are only 4 years old. Their history in the FA Cup therefore reflects that, and Manchester City want to stamp their authority on this.
Do you think Manchester United playing at home today will help them, Willie?
Yeah, I think they'll obviously have the majority of the fans, you know, and as we know, the Manchester United fans are a noisy lot, and I'm sure it'll bring the best out of the players. So, you know, they've got as good a chance today as they've ever had. It's early in the competition and nobody wants to go out today, so, you know, there'll be a lot of tension amongst the players, but I think for us as neutrals, you know, it'll serve up a cracking match.
Okay, well, let's hear the manager's thoughts of today's game. They're joined pitch side with Joe Curry.
Mark, FA Cup 5th round. It's a derby clash at home in front of the cameras. Days don't get much better and bigger than this, do they?
No, it's a really important game. It's something we want to get used to. You know, it's the mindset of today that's going to be the most important. We recently played Manchester City, and I felt that we need to be way more aggressive with the ball and without it. So it's something that we're going to ask from the team today. But what a great time to exact it when you're playing against your local rivals in such a big game.
We saw you beat United 2 weeks ago. It's the same lineup for City again today, but do results like that count for anything on cup days like today?
Well, it gives us confidence, I think, especially playing no games in between then and coming up against the same opponent. So for us, I think it's about reinforcing what we did really well, what we need to be mindful of in terms of what the opposition might do. But confidence-wise, I think it helps us.
The club announced this week that Captain Steph Houghton's undergone surgery. She's going to be out for a prolonged period. What kind of a loss is that like on the pitch and behind the scenes as well?
Yeah, obviously both on and off the pitch. When you lose a player like Steph, it's big, but we've had to suffer in those types of situations with a lot of different players this season, and the squad have handled it pretty well, and we're in a good shape at the moment. We'd like to have Steph with us, obviously, and out on the pitch. But we understand, the severity of the injury in terms of it wasn't an injury that was helping her and being able to be really fit and out on the pitch as much as she could be.
Thanks, Gareth. Good luck today.
Cheers. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, everyone is wishing Steph a speedy recovery. Starting for Manchester United today, though, is the 27-year-old Hannah Blundell. She's already won this trophy twice with her former team, Chelsea. She caught up with Jane McDougall earlier this week to speak about her love affair of the competition.
You've already won the FA Cup twice with Chelsea. Do you think that having that experience of winning campaigns, that will help you personally help Manchester United?
Yeah, hopefully that was one reason why I came here. I wanted to sort of bring the experience that I've got, and like I said, I won the FA Cup 2 times. Of course, it's a big ambition for this club to be winning trophies, and with the FA Cup, it's such a big competition in English football, both men and women's, that it just gives you that bit more incentive going into a game that you want to perform and you want to get the win.
How much would it mean for this club to take silverware in the FA Cup?
Yeah, massive. We've always said, of course, we want to, every single year they wanted to be pushing for trophies is a big thing for this club. Man United is massive worldwide, and with that comes trophies, and for us that is a massive incentive to be not only performing on the pitch but getting wins in cup competitions.
And at home for this one, so how much will that help to be in front of your home fans?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, having the home advantage is massive, and with our fans as well, they're great. They are literally the 12th player. I think you've seen this season already, they've always been loud, they've always pushed us through the tough times in games, and it has helped us. So I think the home advantage would definitely be there.
For the women's game specifically, it's such an important competition.
Yeah, massively, and I think also with the final being at Wembley, that's such an incentive for obviously wanting to be there, because playing at Wembley is honestly like one of the best things in the world, and obviously as a kid you never think that's going to happen to you. So I think now with the FA Cup being at Wembley, that's also, like I said, an incentive to get there.
Obviously in your time at Chelsea you played in quite a few derbies, but the Manchester derby is probably a bit tastier than most. What is it that's so different about it?
I think obviously Manchester City and Man United I think are obviously closer than Arsenal and Chelsea. But I think you just love playing in the derby games, of course. They're always a bit feistier, they're always a bit more tense, I'd say. Obviously either team not wanting to lose. But I think we've got a great team, we've got a great group of girls. So I know going into that game everyone's going to be up for it.
How has it been moving away from London and away from family as well? Because I know you've got a very close bond with your family.
My mum did say, bless her, she was like, I am gutted that I'm not going to be able to see you as much, but she knows football means a lot to me and she just wanted to see me happy on the pitch, so she was all for me moving up here. And yeah, it's obviously difficult moving away from them, but for me, I just love football and I just want to be playing, and that was the main reason why I came here.
Yeah, great chat there with Hannah and Jane Dougal. When we're thinking about this game and the standout players, really, you really want to focus on Alessia Russo today and the impact that she could have.
Yeah, I think we've seen her for Manchester United and England this year, that she can play right along the front line. She is a defender's nightmare. And as you can see, she's given the full-back a tough time there. She gets crosses in, she assists just as much as she scores. You know, in this one, she's popping up in the 18-yard box and she finds her little half yard to get a finish. She's strong in the air, as you can see from this clip. You know, she's just got absolutely everything. You know, she's got pace, she's direct, she's got 2 good feet, and she can finish and score all types of goals. And you know, I think she's key to Manchester United getting a victory today.
Yeah, and she done well with the England team just recently as well. And this player, Rachel, Lauren Hemp, had a standout tournament with England recently.
She's become one of the most feared wingers on the planet, and I'm not inflating what people think of her. She is unbelievable. She has the speed, she has the quick feet, the agility. But if you look at her delivery, you know, it's all about the final delivery. You can have all of that. But where she puts the ball, the second 6-yard box is that key place. It's the area that forwards are running at. Teaming up with Ellen White, she is the queen of that near post run. We see here, she takes it on herself. She's added that to her locker. 21-year-old. She is, if she's not already a star, she's going to be an absolute superstar for Manchester City, but with England at the Euros this summer as well.
And that's the thing, when you look at this Manchester City team, they do have a number of dangerous players.
They do, and a lot of them have come fit at the right time for Gareth Taylor, because they started the season very sluggishly, and you've got superstars like Lucy Bronze coming back into the team. Then you've got Kira Walsh, who is always a bit of an unsung hero, playmaker. Georgia Stanway coming up with goals from lots of places. Kaz Weir today on the bench. You know, and they've got her to bring off the bench with absolute brilliant quality.
As you can see there, some of the fans getting excited, some of them wearing woolly hoods. It is cold out here today. I need one of those hats. Manchester United, though, Willie, Mark Skinner said in his interview about the mindset. What do they need to be thinking?
Yeah, they've got to have huge belief in themselves. You know, that's individually and collectively. You know, they've really got to dig in. They've got to work for each other. I think the key to it is, there's 2 things for me. One is make sure their press is aggressive and meaningful, because I think they sat off them a little bit 2 weeks ago, and there was opportunities there. Against the Man City defence, it still looked a little bit shaky at times. And secondly, they've got to find out where the overload is. You know, we highlighted at half-time a fortnight ago that there was a potential overload down City's right-hand side, and they never utilised it enough. So they've got to identify that area and make it count.
And then Manchester City, do you think that fortnight ago, that win will give them the confidence coming into this?
Yeah, because I think that confidence has been building, that momentum has been building. The league form's excellent. They're pushing for the title again.
Okay, well, as you can see, the players are making their way onto the pitch. It's time for the first half. It's the FA Cup 5th round tie between Manchester United and Manchester City here at the Leigh Sports Village. Let's get you over to your commentary team. We've got another goalkeeper for you up there. It is Siobhan Chamberlain, former Manchester United and England goalkeeper, alongside Robin Cowan.
Thank you, Alex. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's Derby Day again. Let's get your teams. Mark Skinner makes 3 changes from the last derby 2 weeks ago. Hayley Ladd is out after suffering an injury on international duty for Wales. Jackie Grunin starts in midfield. Leo Galton returns on the wing. Martha Thomas starts for only the 7th time this season up front. Vida Boarisa and Sinja Brun drop to the bench. It's the same City 11 that beat United 1-0 at the Academy Stadium. So the match winner Caroline Weir starts on the bench. 7 of the starters appeared for England at the successful Arnold Clark Cup competition, including Georgia Stanway, who became City's all-time record goal scorer in the previous round of the Cup with a hat-trick against Nottingham Forest. So just 2 weeks since the last one, we're back again. A different venue, but the same intentions. The rivalry between these two is growing by the game. Their 4th meeting already this season. And this time, in the FA Cup, it is all or nothing, a place in the quarter-finals at stake. Elizabeth Sims, the referee today. Entertaining 2-2 draw between these two in the WSL match here at Leigh Sports Village. It will not finish that way this afternoon. We're going all the way if it finishes as a draw in the 90 minutes. Will it be a statement win for Manchester United? Or will it be Manchester City who make their way to the quarter-finals? Yet again, they have not been knocked out before that stage in their history. Katie Zelem, the Manchester United captain, and Ellen White, the captain. And you will note that Ellen White has requested to be able to wear a yellow armband around her left arm in support of the people of the Ukraine. Before the action begins, all players, the referee, take the knee, showing their support, opposition against all forms of discrimination. Terrific atmosphere inside Leigh Sports Village. And Siobhan Chamberlain, just 2 weeks ago these two met. Are we expecting anything different at all?
I think they're both going to be going all out for this. They both know how important the FA Cup is. Manchester City, as we've said, will want some silverware with their performance in the league not being up to where they'd expect it to be. And Manchester United still looking for that first trophy.
Ellie Roebuck, one of a number of City players who missed the opening stages of the season. Welcome return to her, but a big blow to the side that the news of Steph Horton's relapse of her Achilles injury, surgery required. Unlikely she'll play again this season. As Bronze tries to get away. Hannah Blundell, two-time FA Cup winner with Chelsea. Gonna work something down the line.
Leah Galton will be a player that Manchester United, I'm sure, will try to get involved as soon as possible in this game. She missed the last game, but thankfully for United, she's back fit, would have had the international break to get back fit, and she'll be a key player for them, challenging against Lucy Bronze.
There's a number of these players have been busy over the last week or so. A lot of them played just on Wednesday night, so tight turnaround, and goodness me, Caldwell nearly gave the ball away in a very dangerous area.
Lauren Hemp had a really early opportunity in the game just a couple of weeks ago, and had that gone in, it could have changed things completely for the game. So United won't want to be making early mistakes across that back line because they will get punished.
Ellen White just crowded out. Debbie Stokes picks it up for City. Now Hemp. Star continues to rise, and brilliant displays at the Arnold Clark Cup. Greenwood will slip it through. Bodies flying everywhere, but it's Stokes who comes away with the ball. Has to pull it back for Lasada. United clear their lines up towards Thomas. That's a really intelligent header. Hemp tight to Russo, and City back in possession.
It's interesting to see Martha Thomas starting today ahead of Signe Bruun. Potentially from that long ball there, it might be they're looking for her as a target player more than a player that's going to be clever and combining with players, bringing players into play. And perhaps I'll be sure to see Bruun later on in the game.
So away on international duty, Bruun, so perhaps a little rotation required. City looking dangerous, it's White. Bounced right in front of her, Sue watched it all the way.
An early sighter for Ellen White, and you'd think from the change of ends that Manchester City chose, they'd like to take some early opportunities, some early shots against Mary Epp. She's got the sun in her eyes, and as a former goalkeeper, it definitely makes a difference. Less so with balls on the floor, but as soon as it goes in the air, it can be very difficult to judge.
Were you a cap wearer
Definitely not.
Prefer to have the sun in your eyes than wear a cap. Greenwood makes the clearance.
Going back to cap wearing decisions, for me, as soon as you put your head up in the air to look for the ball, the sun's in your eyes anyway, so it's kind of adjust to it as much as you can and hope that you don't have too much to do.
Mark Skinner enjoying the sunshine as well, but as Willie Kirk said in the build-up here, could really use a statement win. They have beaten City this season, the Continental Cup, but ultimately it is City who will line up in the final next week against Chelsea. We need to start racking up these wins against the other top 3 sides in the Women's Super League. There's Jess Park, City Academy graduate.
She's a player that's really starting to grow into this team. She's getting lots of regular minutes, lots of plaudits, people even touting her for a late spurt into that Euro squad. And it's a good person to be playing in front of. When you know you've got Lucy Bronze defending behind you, it's going to fill you with confidence, I'm sure.
Bronze still working her way back to full fitness. City looking a little bit slicker, and that was a late challenge from Zellem on her opposite number, clattered into Stanway.
Smart turn there from Georgia Stanway, and Katie Zellem was not having any of that. If the ball's going past me, you're not going past me with it.
And the referee not finished with Zellem yet. Wants a word. You're ready on a final warning, perhaps?
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily was worth a yellow card, but I'm sure a conversation there saying you do that again, you're definitely getting a yellow. And playing in the middle of the park in a game like this, you don't want to be on a yellow card that early.
Long diagonal from Greenwood. She's found Jess Park, but Blundell close to her.
A brilliant ball there from Alex Greenwood, who's really developing so well into this centre-back role. She was fantastic for England across the whole of the the whole of the Arnold Clark Cup competition. It's a mouthful, that one. But she's been brilliant. Her distribution is fantastic, but also her defending has developed so well. And she's someone that's very dependable for Manchester City and for England at the moment.
And that centre-half partnership with Steph Horton out, like for the foreseeable future, is going to be an interesting one. The Euros coming up live on the BBC this summer. First corner of the game, and it is going to be from the left boot of Alex Greenwood. Taken short. The return pass wasn't exactly what she'd like, but Greenwood will still make something of this, but the referee now has blown the whistle.
Don't think Alex Greenwood will be too pleased with Jess Park there. There's a hospital ball set back to her. Probably did really well to escape that without actually picking up any kind of injury.
Manchester United will try and work their way out from the back. Zellem, really deft touch on to Thomas. This is promising. Roebuck, though, out of her goal smartly.
Very good goalkeeping there from Ellie Roebuck. It looks simple, but you've got to have a high line to be able to prevent those balls from coming through.
Nice play, though, from United, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. We've seen at times United have overplayed playing out from the back, but when it works well, and they commit so many bodies forward to the attack. Ella Toone there on that back line, stretching it, was nearly through in on goal.
Oh, now. It's a wayward pass. And a corner conceded when didn't really need to.
I'm not too sure many of the Manchester City players had any idea where that ball was going. I think at one stage Ellie Roebuck looked a bit concerned it might even end up in the back of the net.
A new ball needed as well. Katie Zellem getting ready to take the corner kick. It's the second meeting between these two in the FA Cup. City with a 3-2 win a couple of seasons ago. Delivered well by Katie Zellem all the way through and over the bar. Maria Torres-Dottir ghosting in.
Another brilliant delivery from Katie Zellem, puts it into difficult areas to defend. And I'm not sure how Torres-Dottir managed to get that over there. It looked easier to get it into the back of the net. She'll be incredibly frustrated by that, whether she took her eye off at the last minute, whether Ellen White did just enough to put her off.
Kennedy up to Jess Park, who does well to meet it. Caldwell now goes long, trying to find Galton. Another good, accurate long pass from a centre half, becoming a feature of this game already. And throwing goes Manchester United's way.
The lovely switch ball there from Caldwell. I think Katie Zellem was trying to encourage the team to keep playing, to keep switching it across, maintain possession. But if you know you've got the pace of Leah Galton, yes, she's up against Lucy Bronze, which is tough, and you can see her on that back shoulder, you're going to deliver the ball.
Stanway snapping into the challenge and winning it. There's Torres-Dottir, FA Cup winner as well with Chelsea. Russo. And Lasada, closed down by Grunen. Greenwood striding forward and finding Lauren Hemp, who can put on the accelerator now. Finds Park in a lot of space, a little bit too much weight on the pass. Sends her wider than she'd like, but still gets the cross in. Park, well defended in the first instance. Now perhaps Manchester United can break. 2. Back to Caldwell. And Badia gives it straight back to City.
I think that's going to be the frustrating thing for Marcus, how hard they're working, how hard their press is. They're pressing high up the pitch. You see how much Ella Toon's releasing to step up on that back line. When they regain possession, you've got to use it more effectively. Ona Badje, they just forced it long. They've got the quality to be able to play it around at their back. Hold on to the ball for a little bit longer. Give yourself some breathing space so when you do attack, you've got the momentum to be able to do it.
Big game this for both sides. Gareth Taylor, his second season, his first season he won the FA Cup against Everton at an empty Wembley Stadium. Be desperate to get back there in front of a full crowd. Manchester United come away from that particular battle with Thomas. It's a neat pass, and a brilliant save from Roebuck. A vicious drive from Ella Toon.
An ambitious drive, but that's where we want to see her. Getting involved on the edge of the box, getting her shots away nice and early. Quick touch and quick shot. A great stop by Ellie Roebuck and over the crossbar, but it's there where we see Martha Thomas drifting a little bit wider, gives Ella Toon the space to come more central and get involved, get those shots away. And we've seen how many goals she's scored this season, assists she's got. That's the position that Manchester United want to see her in.
Another Zellem delivery, and it's all the way in! It's crept in at the far post, and Manchester United lead!
I'm not sure if she was aiming for that back post, but it's a brilliant delivery. Evaded every single Manchester City player. There's got to be questions asked defensively. Does Ellie Roebuck get drawn to that near post space? She's got to hold her ground a little bit more, but it's a brilliant delivery. And it's 1-0 to Manchester United.
Perfect start for Mark Skinner's side, and it crept in unaided. Quite brilliant delivery from Katie Zellem. She'd threatened from the first one, and that second one was inch perfect. So what of the City response? There'd been a suggestion, perhaps, of a touch on the back post from Diane Caldwell. We'll need to run that back again. Bronze sends it forward. Whoever got the final touch, Siobhan, that was pretty much undefendable, that delivery.
I could be being overcritical, but I think if you hold your ground more centrally, I think everyone got drawn to that near post space, and then as soon as the ball's going over you, it's difficult to then backtrack.
Foul on Bronze.
So I'm saying, I think if you hold more centrally in the goal, look, Ella Toon is a nuisance there. She drags Ellie Roebuck more to the near post space. If she holds centrally, she can come and deal with that ball. She's got the ability to come and claim or even get a punch.
United play with a lot of confidence now.
A lot of confidence, and they've been rather untroubled at the back, really. Mary Earps hasn't really been called into any action. Mark will be very pleased with his performance of his team so far. He asked for more aggressive pressure, and he's got exactly that. One of the things with Manchester United is, can they take control of situations? Can they score goals when they're on top? Today they've done that. They haven't necessarily been doing that as much against the big teams as they could have done in the past. So that's a key moment moving forwards for them.
Manchester City 3 times winners of the FA Cup. Their campaign may be coming to an end prematurely. They've always made it to the quarterfinals. It's their 8th season as and they're new guys anyway. Poorly done by Kennedy, back to Roebuck, whose clearance is picked up, and Asada. Long way to go, we must say. And Manchester City certainly have the quality on the pitch, and of course on the subs bench they can always bring on Caroline Weir. She's good for a goal against Manchester United usually. Hemp causing all sorts of problems, such energy. Bounce of the ball favours United. A slight error there from Zellum, who's given it away. Here's Park. Bronze motoring down the inside. Corner kick.
You talk so much as a player of the importance of the 5 and 10 minutes after you concede and after you can score a goal. And Manchester United there, they had 5 players up against Manchester City's back line. They were still continuing to go for it. They weren't sitting back at all. And potentially that could cost them if they don't defend as resolutely as potentially they could have to after going a goal up, if the momentum gets a little bit too much ahead of them.
Let's see what Greenwood can do. She can be as effective as Katie Zellum. It's a deep delivery, well defended, back in by Stanway and nodded on and into the gloves of Mary Earps.
Comfortable claim there for Mary Earps. She'll be pleased to get a good early touch. She hasn't been that involved in the game. She's had to come off her line a couple times for through balls, but you always like to get a nice good early touch, and if it's a comfortable one it always helps as well.
Here's Galton. Gronin. 2. Defending from the front, Alex Greenwood. Very high up position for the centre half. there, but not from Ellie Roebuck, of course. We'll hear a few faint boos every time Alex Greenwood touches the ball. Former Manchester United captain, just for one season, a championship-winning season, before moving to Lyon and then back to these shores of Manchester City, which is the only player in the squad to have featured in every single game so far this season.
Not just featured as well, she's been brilliant. She's been one of their players that they rely on heavily. Distribution, starts off attacks, defends well at the same time, and a player that's really grown into that role.
City are aggressive in their pursuit of winning the ball back, but United matching them. Caldwell onto Katie Zellum. O'Gurnan. Challenged, dispossessed. Walsh, now Stanway. White now helping it onto Park. Bronze always an option. We would expect City to have the greater amount of possession.
You probably would. You'd probably expect them to have definitely had more of the play at the moment, but Manchester United are pressing so high. You think potentially Man City, they stick with their style of play, they don't change, but if you've got that many bodies pressing high up the pitch, is it better just to bypass it, go long, go beyond the press, play to your players that are high up the pitch that can cause Manchester United problems in their defensive line?
As you mentioned earlier in the season, they were caught playing out from the back. Most religiously they were doing that 6-1 defeat to Chelsea here in particular. And it is interesting how they've evolved and tweaked their approach.
Most definitely. It's about understanding what your manager wants you to do. You want to play nice football, you want to be able to play out from the back, but also understanding the moments that you can and can't do it. It's about understanding who's pressing you, the moment in the game, and making good choices. I think there's nothing wrong with going long and direct if it's done with a purpose.
Has caused a few problems. Thomas pulled up for a handball. Manchester United still 2 points ahead of City in the WSL, both in pursuit of that Champions League spot. Here's Park. Bronze. Park. A dangerous looking ball in, but out of play.
They're the kind of balls that Manchester City need to be putting on top of Mary Earps. Yes, that one was slightly overplayed, slightly overhit. But we said before about the sun in her eyes and the difficulty that goalkeepers can sometimes deal with, have problems with that. If you've got this for the 45 minutes, you've only got another 25, 26 minutes now. But can you start getting those deliveries in from wide areas, from distance, taking pop shots?
Torres-Dottir scurrying away from Park. Over the top, Thomas will give chase. Oh, Roebuck's give it straight to Zellum, who I think was taking a first-time shot.
That was definitely a first-time shot. The quality wasn't there, but you saw the vision, you saw her eyes open up as soon as she saw that miss-hit back pass. Would have been quite audacious to have scored a goal from there, I'm sure.
Not the first time those back passes have been well, exactly comfortable for Ellie Roebuck this afternoon. Here's Grunin. Russo loses it. Stokes onto Stanway. Park always in a lot of space, but City taking their time to play it from one side to the other this time. promising run. Excellent pass out wide for Lauren Hemp. Tracking from Zellum. Danger still not cleared. 3 feet. Pilasada. Maybe a little too complex.
I think her Spanish compatriot knew how her brain worked there with that flick. Ona Badje just dropped in, anticipated the flick and managed to clear it away from safety.
There's a hold up. I think maybe the referee wasn't happy with where the subs were warming up, perhaps. All congregated down there. In the sun, lucky them. No tan for us today, Siobhan. Definitely in the shade, shady part of the ground.
I don't think I've found a commentary gantry yet that's in the sunshine. If anyone knows of any, please do let me know and I'll put in some match requests.
It's probably for the best, to be honest. Definitely a derby feel. Trying to win it back high up the pitch. Lasada trying to bring it away. Here's Russo, McGurnan, Ella Toon trying to turn. Really close control, but Greenwood will get this one away. Hemp closed down by Grunen. He's still trying to win the ball very high up. Greenwood closed down by Badia. Eventually is forced to make the clearance.
Really confident, aggressive play from Manchester United. We heard Gareth Taylor say in the pre-game build-up that he thought his team would take confidence from the last game into today's game, and if you thought any team was taking confidence into this game, it would be Manchester United at the moment.
Russo, lay off for Ella Toon. Thomas manipulating the ball and having a shot straight at Roebuck.
Comfortable handling from Ellie Roebuck there, a good shot, sharp shot from Martha Thomas from the edge of the box. But Manchester United finding ways to open up this Manchester City defence.
Zellum. Badia. Caldwell. Thomas had made the run in behind, but well read by Kennedy, and now Russo. Zellum. Had a really good play out to the flanks. Galton. Oh, slips it through brilliantly for Blundell. Pulls it back and Zellum's shot is shut down. Brilliant incisive play from United.
Brilliant play on this left wing. It's the first time really Hannah Blundell's got high up the pitch and combined with Leah Galton. We've seen time and time again the way that they can combine and provide assists. But for me, Jess Park's got to do better there. She switched off and left Lucy Bronze 2v1.
United turn this spell of pressure into a second goal. Another really good pass. Zellum into the middle. City get it away once again. Katie Zelem having a terrific game.
She's really dictating the play in the middle of the park. She's having so much space and time on the ball, and we know time and time again she's done it this season, last season. When she's on a set piece, she can deliver pinpoint accuracy and assists, goals. She's been fantastic for United this season.
But these are the moments, Siobhan, United on top, they need to capitalise.
They do, and that's where time and time again against the top teams, when they dominate sections of games, they don't score enough when they're on top, and then other teams punish them.
It's an error. 2-on-1. It's Ellen White. Torresdottir has done brilliantly there. Could White have released that a little bit earlier? That's a real opportunity. Greenwood. United not punished for a lapse in their defence. Park. Closing down Kennedy. Worked out to Lauren Hemp. Chopping inside and losing the ball eventually. Russo helping out Ona Badia. Good spell of possession for City. United standing firm at the moment.
Yeah, really good spell. Probably their best spell so far, but it means nothing if when you get good opportunities in front of goal, you make poor selection choices.
Sada's scoop this time does work out, and she gets the return ball as well. Doesn't get the better of Badia.
Doesn't get the better of her, but does end up winning her team a corner, and we've seen the quality of set pieces on show so far today. Manchester City, I'm sure, will be looking to emulate that of Manchester United. Go back to that opportunity where Ellen White capitalised on the error. I agree with you, it should have been slept through early to Park. Fantastic defending from Thorisdottir, but White could have made it a lot simpler.
Assad over this one. Thumping header away from Russo. Helped on by Toon. Grunen trying to put Demi Stokes under pressure. He calmly deals with that. Tremendous ball from Greenwood. Pinpoints to Park. It's put out a play for another corner kick.
I think the ball potentially looked like it had already gone out. The assistant on this side just flagged for a corner, then followed by a goal kick, and then back down for a corner again. I think it looked like it had already gone out. Hard to see. I think we need goal line technology for that decision, so we'll go with the referee and the assistant.
Taken short this time. A bit of a miscue, and fair play to Lucy Bronze for trying that on the edge of the penalty area. Grunen, under severe pressure, keeps the ball. A sharp turn from Zelem, and then a free kick comes her way.
A really mature performance from Katie Zelem so far today. I think she's really done well in the middle of the park. She's held on to it, she's commanded, she's given instructions to her back line about what she wants them to do with the ball. And that always helps as a goalkeeper, as a defender. If you've got someone in the middle of the park dictating play, giving you information, it helps you organise your style of play, where you're going to play next, and make great decisions.
competitive first half. United in the lead thanks to a goal straight from a corner from Zelem. Play. A goal kick, the decision this time.
Sure that ball ever convincingly looked like it actually crossed the line. No, never fully went across the line. So for Demi Stokes' sake, it's a good job she saw that Ona Badje was pressing her back.
Stokes sends it forward. Great control from Ellen White, who's allowed to turn.
Alessia Russo there getting the block off the pitch for the throw-in, but we heard Willie Kirk speak about her pre-game and about how important and how influential she can be for Manchester United, but for me she needs to be in the 9, she needs to be in a central position. We haven't seen enough of her today, and it's difficult when you're out in that wide position when you want to be a centre forward and number 9, and that's your strength.
United will be fine with this. Little break, but again the switch is on, and it's another really good ball from Greenwood to find her England teammate Lucy Bronze. Away from Blundell. Trying to work the space, and goes back to Park. Two excellent technicians on this right-hand side for City. Park, though, can't evade Leah Galton.
As you said again, Alex Greenwood with that switch of play, that long ball down on this wing, and it's been pinpoint perfect. The distribution's been fantastic, but every time, whether it's Park, whether it's Lucy Bronze that gets on the ball, they look rather isolated. They haven't got someone coming over to join in. So then when they do try to run down the line to cause some kind of attack, there's no one there combining with them to be able to play with them. Everything looks a little bit isolated for Manchester City at the moment.
So Sada, now Park. Bronze first time cross. Stanway allowed to turn, and now Park. United back in a good shape after they were nearly caught out on the break. Greenwood gives it straight to Zelem.
After speaking about the isolation down this wide area, Vicky Losada came over to join in. You saw the triangle of Losada, Bronze and Park. They combined well and got into that 18-yard box area, but that's what they need to do more of. They need to have one of those number 10s, one of those attacking midfielders come over and join in to create those triangles, to be able to break down this Manchester United back line.
Well, White loses out, but too much on that pass, and Roebuck tries to get things going quickly. Greenwood to Stanway. 64 goals in a sky blue shirt. Bronze. Now Losada. Lays it off for Stanway. Deflected, and it is another corner.
Good defending again from Manchester United, but stronger, more assertive play from Manchester City there. Bodies around the edge of the box. Losada laying it off to Georgia Stanway. She's not a player you want to see have lots of time on the edge of the area, but good defending to get out and make the block.
She is excellent from long range, Georgia Stanway.
She is, and she won't think twice about unleashing a shot.
Into the final 5 minutes of normal time. Greenwood, excellent take from Earps.
Brilliant take from Mary Earps there, adjusted her feet really well, held her position as well. She was under pressure there from Lucy Bronze, managed to not just claim it but hold on to it as well, which takes a lot of pressure off your back line as you can calm down the momentum and kill the game, which is key at this point in time.
Just needs a minute. Three different goalkeepers used at the Arnold Clark Cup for England. None of them let themselves down, really.
No, the 2 goals conceded were absolutely brilliant goals.
It's Hemp. Just flicked off the head of Ellen White. Again, the flick almost took it away from Jess Park.
I think had Ellen White not got that flick on it, Jess Park was there at the back post ready to make connection. Obviously Ellen White's going to go for it regardless. You can't expect her to leave a ball in that position, but frustrating for Park and a more promising position for her to find herself in.
Stanway takes control. Back for Walsh, now Bronze. Park seeing a lot of the ball on this near side. Oh, and she's around Hannah Blundell, but she got back well. Corner kick is given.
It's always hard when you've got a left-footed centre-back that's your dominant distributor to make sure you have an even spread of where you're playing those balls. This right-hand side where Park is has predominantly been receiving it all, but I think for me, we want to see Lauren Hemp receiving those kind of balls, being able to turn and run at the back line of Manchester United.
Sada, the outswinger, it's low. It's Bronze!
It's a sharp delivery in there from Lasada. Great first touch from Lucy Bronze. There were just too many bodies in the way. A fantastic touch and shot. As I said, Manchester United did enough to get enough bodies around it to force it wide of the goal.
It was a year ago, her last goal, Lucy Bronze, which just happened to come against Manchester United.
It's always good when you can save your goals for Derby Day. Caroline Weir does it absolutely at the peak.
Yeah, luckily for her, Derby Day comes quicker and quicker. Just a fortnight to go. These two met at Manchester City's ground. The win for City really shook up the WSL. Fantastic title race we've got, and the race for the top 3, the Champions League spots. Spurs, the unlikely team in 3rd place. Again, Ellie Roebuck quick off her line.
Yeah, her starting position in terms of through balls coming through today has been brilliant. She's been ready, she's been assertive, she's made decisions early, and she's come through and cleared up when her back line have needed her.
Thomas, perhaps a little bit of a surprise selection, but playing well, causing a few problems, and the rotation with Ella Toone has worked extremely well so far. Galton. Brennan. Just impeded. And Lasada, free kick to United.
Really well held on to by Jackie Gronan there, winning the foul for her team in a dangerous position when you've got Katie Zelem in the form that she is. With just a minute left before half-time, this would be a brilliant time for Manchester United to score and a horrific time for City to concede. So I'm sure they'll be doing their utmost to to prevent this one from going in the back of the net and keeping it away from Alessia Russo's head.
There's quite a few candidates to get on the end of this. Particular attention to Martha Thomas, who is so good in the air. Zellum sizing it up. Blundell, this is clever, but a bit too much on that for Ella Toone.
Clever, but almost that little bit too clever. Sure if Ella Toone just left her foot in on Ellie Roebuck there, she seems to be struggling slightly.
Just a minute of time added on. Ellie Roebuck up, is ready to resume. United aggressive and winning it back. Thomas, it's a good cutback, but no one there. Maybe could have got her head up. Now Lauren Hemp trying to get away. And then Badia. Hemp eventually gets the decision.
Initially, it was brilliant defending from Ona Badje. They managed to use her pace to get ahead of Lauren Hemp, which I don't think anyone's ever actually probably said before. But then you can never discount Hemp, made it past her. And unfortunately for her, playing against Hemp in the second half, she's picked up a yellow card.
I think she initially got there. And then Hemp with the kick and rush, and Badia just wasn't going to let her get away.
I'm not sure if, to be honest, Ona Badje managed to get ahead of her, then got a slight shove from Hemp, which enabled Hemp to then get past her. So she could be feeling a little bit hard done by there.
Vicky Losada receiving treatment. Yet another player who's had a significant time out of the City side with injury. This won't be good viewing for Gareth Taylor.
No, I'm sure he won't want to have a problem to Vicky Losada, although they do have several options midfield-wise. No, probably most notably Caroline Weir, who I'm sure Manchester United will not want to see coming onto the pitch on Derby Day today.
Perhaps another issue in playing personnel for Gareth Taylor. I'm sure they'll want to try and get her in at half-time and assess her.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. Given the fact that we've only got 1 minute added time, we've already played over that. You'd think that potentially they're surely not going to make a change now. You'd try and get in at half-time, assess the situation properly, and then make a decision from there.
She doesn't look happy, Losada. Surely only seconds left to play, but United will have to keep their concentration. A set-piece situation for City. Played well over the allotted minute. It bounces straight through. And that's it. Very entertaining first half of high quality. And United have the advantage at the break thanks to Katie Zellum. Tremendous delivery from a corner that went all the way in. City have had a couple of half chances, but so far disciplined display from United, Siobhan.
A very disciplined display, and I'd probably use the word aggressive as my main descriptor for their performance. Mark Skinner asked for it before the game. He said he wanted aggression in possession and out of possession, and they've done exactly that. They've done everything that he's asked for so far. The only thing that they could potentially say that they wanted more of is more goals to make this game more comfortable at half-time.
Plenty for Rachel Brown-Finnis and Willie Kirk to get their teeth into. Half-time at Leigh Sports Village. Manchester United 1, Manchester City 0.
Yeah, thank you. Siobhan, thank you, Robin. So much to break down. It's been a really interesting half. But Willie, Mark Skinner asked for a reaction, asked for more aggression from his team, and we've certainly seen that.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's been a massive improvement on 2 weeks ago. They're on the front foot. They've got a lot more sort of controlled possession. They seem a lot more composed in possession. So yeah, it's been a huge improvement in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, what's impressed you from Manchester United in this first half, Rachel?
As Shiv mentioned, the aggression, the Katie Zelem, Ella Toone getting up and pinning back Keira Walsh. She's their playmaker, everybody knows that for Manchester City. And she's just not been allowed time on the ball, denying Manchester City ground, to be able to get hold of the ball and advance, denying space for them. When City get hold of the ball and look up, there's no one free, nobody unmarked. And so it's a really well synchronised performance from when you're out of possession for Manchester United first half.
OK, well, they managed to get that goal. Should have they seen it actually come in Manchester City?
It was there for everyone to see. I mean, Katie Zelem has been outstanding, and from this set piece, this is just a few minutes prior to the actual goal. You can see Diane Colwell, almost a 15 for United, almost gets on the ball for this one. And Torresdottir at the back post should have headed in. And minutes later, carbon copy. I think it was possibly going in anyway from Katie Zelem, but it's Caldwell who gets that touch at the back. But it's such poor marking from Manchester City. And it's not player marking, it's zonal marking, that back zone. Lauren Hemp and Ellen White have to block. It's carbon copy. First time it happened with Zelem, they were unmarked, unblocked at the back. You can't allow in such a congested area for the United players in this case to just breeze past you to get goal side, because inevitably with the quality of delivery that Katie Zelem offered up, it's going to end up in the back of the net. But really well worked and really well executed from Manchester United.
Former goalkeeper, do you want players on your post there?
Well, you choose not to, and so what you have to do therefore is take responsibility for that back. And if it's not an opportunity, Ellie Roebuck, I think, went to cover that near post clearly. She has to trust that the defenders at the back do their job and stop such an easy tap-in that happened. So it's not one player who is culpable for that mistake. It's a series of errors.
Okay, and then for Manchester United, Willie, you've really been impressed with Ella Toone compared to 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
I mean, I spoke about Ella Toone 2 weeks ago in terms of how hard the player she is to pick up, but that day, she was spending most of her time doing 40-yard recovery runs. Today's been completely different. She's playing in the central area again rather than being stuck out left. She's the one that creates overloads, as you can see here. She drifts out to the left-hand side. She finds herself in free space. She's in areas where Keira Walsh doesn't want to follow her. She's mixing her game up. She's making runs into the back line, almost becoming a front two at times. She's been really, really tough to get hold of today, and even defensively she's managed to stop Keira Walsh getting on the ball, which Rachel was talking about. So I think Ella Toone's positioning, which has allowed her to put in a performance which makes a massive difference in that performance from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, important thing that you just said there as well, because when you look at the Manchester City side, a lot of it does come through Keira Walsh, and they're managing to keep her quiet.
Yeah, they've been very clever. They've got almost a front two press. Ella Toone goes a bit higher. Her and Martha Thomas have been quite narrow, and they're either jumping a centre back, another one's covering Keira, or vice versa, and it's working really well, because when you set up against Man City, you need to make sure that Keira doesn't dictate the game, and that's what Man United have done.
Yeah, when you think about this Manchester City side in the first half, Rachel, they've not really managed to create anything in the final third.
No, it's been a little bit pedestrian. I mean, Alex Greenwood, her deliveries have been excellent from a centre half position, but they've not taken the chances. This was in the dying seconds of this first half, and what a chance for Lucy Bronze. I think there have been 3 corners from Manchester City where you'd expect Manchester City to get a shot off in the end. A couple have dropped on the 18-yard box. You'd expect Georgia Stanway, Keira Walsh to get on it, Vicky Losada. They didn't test Mary Earps. I mean, we're stood now, thankfully, in the blazing sunshine as a goalkeeper for Mary Earps. She needs to have been tested, because it is difficult conditions for the goalkeeper. And Manchester City were a little bit toothless in that final third.
Yeah, but if you're Mark Skinner right in there, yes, your team's 1-0 up, but you've got a big 45 in the second half. What are you saying to your team?
Yeah, listen, Man United have got a lot of work still to do, despite them being 1-0 up. I would be concerned if I was Mark about the amount of space they've had down their left-hand side. You know, I think Jess Parks put in 2 or 3 crosses which should have been better. I think Lucy's had a couple of chances to put in crosses, she chose not to. So, you know, it's certainly not been a perfect performance from Man United, but they just need to make sure that they continue to be in the front foot. They don't want to start dropping deeper and deeper, and they certainly want to tighten things up. Alex Greenwood's causing them some problems with diags, and those diagonal passes are giving Man City opportunities to get in the final third, so there's still a little bit of work to be done.
Okay, well, it's currently 1-0 here to Manchester United, but the action in the FA Cup 5th round did get underway yesterday as former champions Chelsea took on Leicester City at Kingsmeadow. If you missed the action, don't worry, we've got you covered. Commentary from Dan Roebuck.
This is Sophie Howard to come forward, and still, that's a little loose and that's a little late, and Sophie Howard could be in trouble here, and this is a straight red card for the challenge on Anderson. Howard sent off. Out of control, really, that was late. Leicester struggling really now. Player down. Referee lets play go. Engel looking for Pernilla Harder. It's still Harder, expertly done. Midpoint of this first half and Chelsea lead. So credit the pass from Sophie Engel. Spotted the movement of Harder in between defenders, had pace and showed composure to find the corner. Space to manoeuvre into, and now it's Kerr, still Sam Kerr, it's Harder, it must be another. Well, the combination play from Chelsea has been terrific in this first half, and deservedly they are 2-0 up in this cup tie. Chelsea has been dominant as you would expect. Harder and Kerr looking to combine. Here is Sam Kerr. Oh, that's wonderfully done. Outside of the boot, into the corner. That's a third on the hour. Always been difficult for Leicester since the sending off, but Chelsea have been ruthless. They lead by 3 goals to 0. And Kirby with the corner here for the Blues. Bounces towards G, what can she do? Oh, she can find the corner brilliantly. What a clever goal from a very clever player. Wonderful touch here from the Korean. And Chelsea lead by 4. Here's Bright. Captain is forwards here. Harder. Nguyen. There's another. The goals just keep on coming. Nguyen with the header here, beating Lambourne. Charles. And Fleming in space here. She's got time to pick someone out. It's Kerr. It's another wonderful finish from Sam Kerr. And Chelsea now lead by 6 goals to 0. Picked out with real precision by Fleming. Fleming looking for Kerr. It's towards Beth England! Well, as is so often the case, off the bench and on the score sheet, it is a magnificent 7 for Chelsea, and they're through to the quarterfinals.
Okay, confirmation of the latest results and fixtures from this weekend's FA Cup 5th round. And as we've just seen, Chelsea secured their place in the quarter-finals. It finished 7-0. And today, Manchester United lead 1-0 at half-time against Manchester City. And in the early kick-off, Liverpool are trailing 4-0 to Arsenal. And we're just over 25 minutes into the game between Charlton Athletic and Everton. And that one is 0-0. Okay, so you've got the remaining 4 matches. As you can see, they're all kick off at 2 o'clock. And it is currently 4-0 to Arsenal there in that match. But let's talk about Chelsea. A big win. And obviously Emma Hayes wanting to keep hold of that trophy. It's one that she absolutely loves. But let's talk about the performance of Pernilla Harder and just how important she is to that Chelsea team.
She's doesn't have a bad game in that even if the quality of the final product isn't there, missed chances, she is tirelessly, endlessly working. But in this game she had both. When she can pick up the ball in a wide area, drive in field, she is impossible to catch, but she can also have the deft of touch to be able to thread players through. It was an all-round performance for Pernille Harder, and just proving it once again why she's one of the world's best players.
And also the strength in depth that Chelsea have in that team. Emma Hayes made 3 changes and they still had that impressive victory, really.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of Emma's changes before, and she could make 5 or 6 changes and you would never know the difference. You know, the quality very early dips. That's one thing that, you know, as a manager, if you can do that and keep your squad not just fresh but hungry, so they're never comfortable in their position in the team, I think that's really important to Emma.
Okay, right now, if I just look over my shoulder to the opposite side of the pitch, it's time to get you over to Jo Curry. She is joined by Tom Garry.
Tom, it's wonderful to see you here in Manchester. You wrote an article for The Telegraph this week that looked into the runners and riders of which England players should and still could make the England squad for the Euros this summer. For you, who's impressed Sarina Wiegman? Whose spot is more or less assured, do you think?
Well, Jo, Sarina Wiegman's selection has been very consistent, actually, and there's one player who's played all 9 games from the start, and that's Alex Greenwood of Manchester City. So I think we can safely say Greenwood will be on that bus to the Euros, and we've seen the likes of Lauren Hemp really come to the fore under Wiegman. Millie Bright's been very prominent as well at centre-half, and looking at the minutes that people have played, there are around 15 players, I think, who can be fairly certain of their selection. That leaves 8 places of the 23 still up for grabs.
That leads us nicely then onto the players that are perhaps on the cusp and have to spend the next few months really proving themselves and saying to Sarina, I'm worth my spot. Who are they?
Well, for example, Katie Zellem of Manchester United scoring in the first half. She's been picked in all of Wiegman's squads but hasn't actually played that many minutes, just made the 1 substitute appearance. So I think for somebody like Katie Zellem, the next few weeks are going to be critical to try and prove her worth. And also, sadly, a few players have had injuries. We know, of course, about the captain, Steph Horton, who has had another setback with her injury recently. So I think everyone in the game's hoping that she'll be fit to play, but if she's not fit to play, then that gives options at centre-half with the likes of Lotte Ruven-Moy on the fringes as well. Jess Carter's been there as well, so there are options at centre-back if Horton can't go. Well,
it's good problems to have for Sarina Wiegman, isn't it? Tom, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the second half.
Thanks, Jo. Thanks, Tom. Yes, the sunshine is coming up, but we have plenty of football across the BBC for you, and there's more than one way that you can watch it.
For everything you need to know about your team this season, download the BBC Sports app. All the latest news, goal updates, stats and scores, and insights and analysis. Just select your club to get the biggest stories and best content at your fingertips. What a result! Download the BBC Sports app for everything you need to know about your team this season.
Yeah, well, in the men's FA Cup 5th round, Middlesbrough are in action against Tottenham on Tuesday night, and you can watch that on BBC One at 7:30. Or if you prefer, Stoke City take on Crystal Palace on the BBC iPlayer from 7:20. Arsenal face Reading in the Women's Super League at Boreham Wood on Wednesday. That's over on BBC 3 at 7:15. And on BBC Sound, you can listen now to an episode around the barriers which lie ahead for women's sport on the Sports Desk podcast. Right, before we head back to the second half of today's derby, here's a recap of the best of the first half action, with Manchester United inching closer to an FA Cup quarter-final spot.
Delivery, and it's all the way in. It's crept in at the far post, and Manchester United lead.
Okay, as you can see, the players are heading right out for the second half action. Let's get you back to your commentary team. It is Siobhan Chamberlain alongside Robin Cowan.
Thank you, Alex. Really intriguing second half in prospects here at Leigh Sports Village. Perhaps a couple of changes for Manchester City. We'll get confirmation of them now. This is Vicky Losada, who went down at the end of that first half, is off. Hayley Rasso has come on as well as Caroline Weir, a foe of Manchester United, especially in recent games. Jess Park, the other player to make way. What do you make of those changes for City, Siobhan?
I think City needed to make some kind of change. They weren't really at the races that first half. They didn't do enough to get themselves ahead in the game, and they just looked a bit lethargic. And Rasso, who is full of speed, full of pace and power, and will get beyond Manchester United's backline, and we all know exactly what she can do. So the two changes that, attacking-wise, will hopefully give Manchester City a slightly different mentality.
So as it stands, Manchester United going through to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, but it'll be interesting to see how those two alterations change things from a Manchester City point of view. And perhaps Mary Earps, a little bit more concentration if she sees Caroline Weir lining one up from the edge of the penalty area.
She definitely won't want to see Caroline Weir lining one up from anywhere near the penalty area, especially given how viral every single goal she scores against her seems to go.
It's rough being a goalkeeper in those situations. Must have seen on the BBC Sports website and Twitter that Caroline Weir carbon copy chips. Comes at Stokes. Miscue from Ellen White and well handled by Mary Earps.
Well handled, but I'd like to have seen Rasso there as it comes to her head to cut it back slightly. Weir and White were both there. She just made a poor decision going straight towards the keeper. There were two City players ready to pounce.
Early promise though for City. Earps mishits her clearance. Weir slips it through towards Demi Stokes. Good sliding challenge from Caldwell. Hemp. Bronze on to Rasso, Australian international, along with Alana Kennedy. A bit of time off over the last international break for the Europeans.
As an international player within Europe, it can be tiring going away, but when you play for someone like Australia and you've got to travel the width of the world to get away and then to come back, it must take so much out of you. So I'm sure those players will be pleased to have had a little bit of downtime.
These players in each squad played at the Arnold Clark Cup, so just travelling to Middlesbrough, Norwich and Wolverhampton. There's a lot of hardship, but playing in those consecutive storms can't have been easy. Hemp putting Badia under pressure. And as expected, it's been a quick start from City, who find themselves behind.
It has, and I'm sure there'd have been some choice words, both from players and from staff in that dressing room at half-time to let them know it's not good enough. If you want to win a Manchester derby, if you want to win any football match, let alone a Manchester derby, the standards need to be higher, it needs to be quicker, played with more tempo and with more quality.
It was a good chunk of that first half where Manchester United were really pushing for the second. They didn't find it. I hope it doesn't prove costly.
They will do, and that's where the top teams punish you. They don't play particularly well, but when they get the opportunity, they take it.
Russo with the flick on. It's Walsh. Kennedy. On to Stanway. Now Rasso. Lovely flowing move from City. Ellen White can't get there, but Lauren Hemp can. Less than 5 minutes after the restart, and Manchester City draw level.
Brilliant from Manchester City, and that's exactly the impact Gareth Taylor wanted when he brought Rasso onto the pitch. A brilliant delivery across the box. Number of Manchester City players waiting to put it in. It falls to Lauren Hemp, and she's not going to make a mistake from there. Manchester City are back in this game.
Clean strike from Lauren Hemp. I think it may have even gone through the legs of Ona Badia just to add a little more sting to that. And we have an FA Cup tie on our hands. Real blow for Manchester United, conceding that early on. And after being the better side for so much of that first half, don't have anything really to show for it. Rasso on the move once again. Impact she's made from the bench at half-time. Bronze. Leah Galton back there trying to help out with the defending. Kennedy.
Manchester City starting this second half how Manchester United started the first. Haven't let them out of their own area to start with, pressing them high, using pace, using aggression. It's exactly what Gareth Taylor would have wanted with the start of this game, this half.
Lovely turn from White. Badia makes the clearance, awkward one, corner kick.
This is where a team of the quality and the calibre of Manchester City, when they start dominating, they will make you pay. And with the quality of Alex Greenwood's distribution, her set pieces, you know there's always going to be problems and questions asked.
Greenwood delivers, it's flicked on by a United player, dangerously. It's going to be retrieved here by Weir. To Stokes, time to pick out the cross. Again, well taken by Earps, who wants to get things going quickly, but is stopped by Ellen White. Showing her experience there.
Definitely showing her experience. She could see Mary Earps lining up the long free ball to Ella Toon, who was making the run. She's earned herself a yellow card, but if it's kept her team even in this game, I'm sure she'll take it. Frustration from Mary Earps there after a great take. There's nothing better as a goalkeeper, coming out, taking a beautiful cross and pinging a ball down the other end of the pitch, and then hopefully getting an assist. But Ellen White was having none of it.
Ellen White with the yellow card. Wins it. It's all Manchester City now. Rousseau down the line trying to find Toon. Heavy touch from Alana Kennedy. And the substitutes have made a big difference. The intent there as well from City now.
They have, they're on the front foot, they're pressing aggressively, they're moving the ball at a quicker pace. As you said, the intent from Manchester City is definitely there this half.
Badia, Toon. Just one touch passing from United. Rousseau's back heel doesn't quite find the intended targets, but it's back with Zellum. Now Gruner. Blundell providing the width. 1-2 with Galton. Rasso back there. Her pace not only causing problems in the attacking third, but in their defensive one as well. Free kick to United.
Interesting decision to make the foul there. It didn't look like Leah Galton was really going anywhere. Just got the knock there from Rasso. She was just a little bit late. The ball had already gone. Simple decision really for the referee there.
And this is the goal that has drawn Manchester City level.
That's what Lauren Hemp is so good at doing. How she times her runs in at that back post space, whether it's on the floor, in the air, she times it perfectly, and that's how she scores so many goals, as well as being great on the ball. Her football brain to know exactly when to exploit those areas is brilliant.
Her 11th of the season and her 8th in the last 12. Really enjoying a prolific period, and how important she will be for England in the summer. A chance on the set piece. Zellum delivers, but easily cleared. Bronze. Stokes. It's good play from Badia. Thought about sliding and putting the ball out of play. Instead, keeps possession. It's not a great pass from Zellum. Gives it away in a dangerous area. Now here's Rasso on the move again. Hemp forced back. And where City looked toothless in the first half, they now look very dangerous indeed. Bronze nearly finding White.
You talk about the confidence of Manchester City. I think that's demonstrated by the amount of more rotation that they have. You see there, Lucy Bronze picking up the ball in the centre of the park. You want to see rotation. It makes it so much harder for the United players to be able to know where to pick them up. The amount of movement that we're seeing from Manchester City in the second half has been I mean, you couldn't even recognise it from the first.
Walsh. Weir. Look at those spaces in between defence and midfield. Clearance by Badia, but City looking a lot more fluid in their movement. Galton can't quite pick out Martha Thomas.
Probably one of the few times though that Manchester United have actually used Martha Thomas as an out-and-out number 9 to use her to pin the ball, to hold it up and to bring others into play, and it worked really effectively. It's just that final ball wasn't there.
Oh, and that's a short pass back. It's White, and City lead. A horrible moment for Hannah Blundell, and Ellen White took full advantage.
It's one she won't want to be seeing again. The header wasn't firm enough. And Ellen White's not going to miss from there. An awful moment for Manchester United. Miscommunication, whether it was between Blundell and Earps, whether she felt she was higher up the pitch. But in those situations, you've got to clear your lines, especially when you've got someone as dominant in front of goal as Ellen White charging you down.
And Mary Earps, I think expressing her frustration there. It's a really awkward ball, wasn't it? And with Rasso, who's already looked like she's spooked the Manchester United back line since coming on. Just a difficult decision to make, and the wrong one in the end. And Manchester City now 2-1 up.
so frustrating for Manchester United with how well they played in that first half. They completely dominated. They played on the front foot, created opportunities, and now just 15 minutes into this second half that they find themselves 2-1 down.
Brilliant pass out to this near side for Lauren Hemp. Weir, and it's crept in. Caroline Weir does it again against Manchester United, who are on the verge of a complete capitulation.
It's a great through ball here, and Lauren Hemp does well. Picks out Caroline Weir, but Mary Earps has got to do better there. It's a goalkeeping mistake. She'll be the first to hold her hands up there. She's been brilliant for Manchester United this season, and she'll be incredibly frustrated. That's a basic error for her. And Manchester United now need to move forward from that.
Nowhere near as spectacular as her goal 2 weeks ago, Caroline Weir, but just as effective. And Manchester United can't lose their heads. There's still a long way to go. Two goals in 2 minutes from Manchester City. Can't string passes together at the moment, United. City swarming all over them. Stanway finds Rasso.
This is where earlier we spoke about the top teams dominate and make the most of positions when they're in them. And Manchester City, they were poor in that first half, but they managed to stay in the game. They were only a goal down, and now when they've been given that opportunity to get back in the game, they've taken each and every one of them.
They put the first City goal down to a really good team move, but the next two have been high-profile errors, really.
They have, and Manchester United over the past few weeks, the past couple of months, they've defended really well. They've been organised, they've done well in a unit. So they'll be frustrated by that, especially coming so close together. This is now when you need your leaders to step up and help you get back on track and get that momentum back in the game.
Weir, forward for Ellen White. Manchester City cooking on gas now. Lauren Hemp, though, took the shot. Good block. She may have hurt herself in the process.
Looked like it was a really strong block there. It's Caldwell coming in to make the block against her. It connected with that, whether it's the ankle. She seems to have some strapping on her knee. Hopefully, not just for Manchester City, but for England as well. She stays as fit as possible for the next few months leading into a very important home championships.
That's right, this is the sort of part of the season when you're looking ahead to European Championships, when fans of all countries looking on nervously whenever players go down, look injured.
Manchester United, they're continuing to be positive, trying to play out, and we spoke about the game against Chelsea at the start of the season where they got caught out by playing out time and time again. I think at the moment, with the pressure they're under, how positive Manchester City are being, playing high up the pitch, it could be the time to switch it up a little bit, go a bit longer, hold the ball up higher up the pitch and buy yourself a little bit of time.
Zellen onto Toon. There also might be a little bit of a psychological hurdle that Manchester United need to get over.
I'm sure there is, and especially when there's a lot of talk about you can beat the teams in and around you, but can you step into that top three? When things are going your way, it's great, but when things get a little bit difficult, that's when you earn your space in that top three.
Rasso. defending from Blundell. We've seen nothing of the United forward players, or barely anything, in the second half, and I think that's really down to Manchester City.
It is, although I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of changes from Manchester United coming soon, hoping for the impact that Manchester City's subs had.
Hemp comes off Badia. Caldwell clears. Right on cue. United getting ready to make the changes. You smell the deep heat up here. Toon. That's a wonderful ball. Galton latches onto it. And the flicked header from Russo wasn't bad at all.
It was a good attempt, Manchester United's best attempt so far in this half, and we've spoken about Manchester City and the importance of their wide players, Hemp, Rasso this half. Leah Galton is just as vital for Manchester United, but she hasn't had the service as much as she'd want to be on the ball. We see there the way she cut in and delivered that ball across for Russo. She's dangerous both when she cuts in and goes out wide herself, but Manchester United need to get her on the ball more.
Sinja Bruin ready to come on, Danish international. It's away on international duty, the Algarve Cup, but an outbreak of COVID in the camp, and the tournament came to an end prematurely. We've got a statement signing when that was announced on deadline day.
It certainly was, and she's a brilliant player, but one that probably hasn't quite found her feet for Manchester United yet. I think it's a difficult task to fit Russo and Bruin both in that team, both in their best positions. I said before, I'd like to see Russo central. Bruin also wants to play in that central position, so it's a tough task for Mark Skinner to fit them all in perfectly.
So Sinja Bruin coming on for Martha Thomas, and Kirsty Hansen also on for Alessia Russo. So we're on international duty this week with Scotland. And has scored previously against Manchester United a couple of seasons ago here in a 2-2 draw. Do have a lot of depth in those forward positions, but sometimes you wonder if they're all in the right position for them to get the best out of them.
Most definitely, especially you look at Kirsty Hansen. She had a great start to the season. She was getting lots of minutes, picked up an injury and has struggled really to kind of get any game time on the pitch moving forward, but she's a left-footed player. She's one that you'd probably like to see on that left side, but she's not going to displace Leah Galton, and if you can get them both on the pitch, enable them to cut in field a little bit more, a bit more rotation. But no one's really nailed down that right wing position for Manchester United this season.
Weir. Beautifully done. Roebuck, greatest of passes for Greenwood, but she dealt with it very well indeed. And City have worked their way out of this situation nicely. Greenwood up to White. Couldn't control. There's Zellem for United. Bruin felt she was caught. Greenwood perhaps more up to speed with the game. Stanway. Maybe one too many touches, but play is brought to an end, and it's a United free kick.
Hayley Rasso there on Leah Galton again. Not the first time. Sure, it probably won't be the last either. Good battle going on down on that far side in this second half. Definitely picked up intensity and tempo with the changes that have been made.
Galton. That's a good-looking ball towards Bruin. But Greenwood won it. You see Walsh was trying to play in Rasso, and that's another loose pass. Ellen White can't quite match Caldwell. Hansen. Now Badger under pressure. City playing with such confidence. Stanway. Rasso back to Stanway. And deflected into the gloves of Mary Earps.
Positive combination play there from the Manchester City forward line. Only thing I was slightly surprised at is that Georgia Stanway didn't unleash the shot first time. But as she was driving in, the Manchester United line just looked like they were backing off her a little bit, which is a dangerous thing to do when you've got Stanway charging down against you.
Certainly having a much better time than she did in the fixture here in the WSL. Early red card. To be fair, she was playing at right back. She's been asked to play in pretty much every single position, including goalkeeper. That was close, wasn't it? Had a shirt made up just in case.
I actually spoke to her after that match and said that I really wanted to see her come on.
I think we all did. Here's Galton. Toons made the run forward. Instead, it's towards Zellum. Badia. Well, gets the cross in.
Good defending there from Demi Stokes. I think she's been solid today. She's worked well with Lauren Hemp. She's overlapped. She got forward, especially in that first half hour. I think everything positive that did come from Manchester City. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't their best first half performance, but probably did come down that left side with them overlapping.
Weir turns into trouble. Zellum delivers the cross, but only Galton in the penalty area. Bronze finds White. Here is Grunen. Kirsty Hansen will get there ahead of Demi Stokes. They've got a lot of support. Stokes holds her up for now. And the referee has stopped play.
I think it looked like Demi Stokes got a slight nick on Kirsty Hansen's ankle. The assistant referee unconvincingly flagging for a free kick there. It did look like Demi Stokes did clip her ankles, and I think it is a free kick, but a bit more assertiveness shown perhaps.
Not sure she agrees from the expression on her face, but free kick it is to Manchester United. Zellum. Oh, and it's been lost. Toon. That's not a bad effort at all. She couldn't go low. There were too many Body's in the way, but off target.
It's not a bad effort at all. As you said, there were so many bodies in and around that 6-yard box. The only place Ella Toone could go was over the top. Maybe it needed a little bit more delicacy from it to get it up and down in time. It wasn't the distance to really go with the power. But more promising from Manchester United.
So next up for Manchester City, and our next showing of women's football, Chelsea against Manchester City next week. The League Cup final live from Plough Lane, 5 o'clock on BBC Two. Make sure you join us for that one. Walsh taking her time, then playing a clever ball forward for Weir. Now Hemp. Kennedy sends it forward.
There's been a real confidence this half in how Manchester City have moved the ball around. The first half, they looked like there was a little bit of uncertainty when they were moving it around at the back. There's been nothing of the sort this half. Moving it around with composure, 1 and 2 touch, so much movement, variation, rotation. A completely different team.
So unless something pretty remarkable happens, an early exit from the FA Cup for Manchester United, although Roebuck taking a chance. Goodness me, she's still going. She forgets she was a goalkeeper.
I think it could have been the commentator's curse of saying how composed they've been playing out at the back. They just got a little bit over-composed, over-sure of themselves there. I think she was grateful in the end for being a goalkeeper, as she could just collapse on the ball and pick it up. But Manchester City need to stay switched on and not get too complacent with their movement and how they are playing out from the back. As positive as I was about it, it can all change in just one moment.
Got away with one there. Millie Roebuck fancying a little dribble inside her area. A couple of subs for Manchester City. Julia Blackstad coming on, as well as Khadija Bunny-Shaw. Lauren Hemp making way. And a rest, so is Ellen White. Two of the goal scorers off. Some minutes for Shaw and new signing Julia Blackstad, Sweden.
Given how important Lauren Hemp is to this side, to be able to take her off after 77 minutes is a luxury I'm sure they'll definitely relish and enjoy as much as they can.
A lot of rotation in the number 9 position between White and Shaw. Blackstad. Brasso. Well, her touch was heavy, but she got there all the same. Blackstad, good save, and it's put in the rebound. Bunny-Shaw, just seconds after coming onto the pitch, puts Manchester City into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup.
Full credit for Gareth Taylor for his substitutions today. It's another one that's made an instant impact. Another two, you could say. Blackstad with the initial shot. Mary Earps makes the block, but unfortunately it pops out straight to Shaw, who's in the right place at the right time to slot it home.
Happy without the day's work. Khadija Shaw. Her third goal in the FA Cup. Her 7th in all competitions this season. An afternoon that Mary Earps and Manchester United that started so well, but one they'll want to put behind them very quickly. With our guys with the stopwatch, apparently 39 seconds between Honey Shaw coming on and putting the ball in the net. Not bad.
Is that an FA Cup record, or I think maybe we could do more?
I'm sure someone will know. Gotta be close. Siobhan, in your opinion, has this been a bit of a collapse from Manchester United, or has this just been a brilliant second half display from Manchester City?
I think you've got to say it's a combination of the two. Manchester City have been brilliant, but in moments where the game's on a pivot, where it's changing from when you're in control to out of it, you've got to have key players that step up and take control of the situation, and Manchester United kind of let things run away from them too quickly and then found themselves out of the game.
Bruin won't get onto that. Blackstad coming away from that with Onibadia. He's still battling.
It's a game now where it's got to the point that Manchester City are pretty much home and dry. I think for both teams, they won't want to see any of their players picking up injuries, especially Onibadia. She's so vital to Manchester United, and they've got a lot left to play for in the league.
And another yellow card for that challenge on Onibadia. Georgia Stanway. Now next up for Manchester United, a big game of the WSL next weekend. Back here against Leicester City. And we want to get back on track as quickly as possible. Zellum delivers, and that will be Ellie Roebucks.
I think that delivery sums up the two differences between Manchester United's performance. The first half, Katie Zellum's deliveries were fantastic. She was probably my player of the first half, but second half she hasn't really been able to get on the ball, and that delivery for her was poor.
Stanway loses out. Manchester United is going to make some subs now. The game is certainly up for them, but a couple more players on the pitch. Leah Galton coming off for Ivana Fuso. Jackie Karunen also withdrawn. Burr reset. Prepared to come on for the final 6 minutes or so. disappointing afternoon for Manchester United, and no closer to that elusive first trophy since they were reborn in 2018. I think it's important to stress that winning a trophy is very, very difficult. There aren't that many. You need to get your way all the way through to the final and then try and win that as well. It's easier said than done.
It most definitely is, but I think having played for Manchester United, having been a part of the club, it's a club that has high demands, high expectations, and regardless of the fact that they're only 4 years old, the club expects success and they'll expect continued investment, continued development, and to be pushing higher up. And one of those goals will have to be Champions League football this season.
That is still very much in the balance. Wouldn't be surprised if we went down to the final day. So many teams want to get in the top 3 and get that Champions League football for next season. And a substitution confirmation of that. Alana Kennedy off for Philippa Angeldal. Unlike the first chunk of the season, City with some real depth now in their squad. Looking well set for the business end of the season.
They definitely are, and if you can rotate Lucy Bronze into centre-back and Georgia Stanway back to your right-back positions and still feel comfortable and composed and bring other internationals on, it's a brilliant place to be in.
Rasso has been an absolute nuisance down that right-hand side.
Rasso's been a nuisance, and it's been the changes in this game that have been the difference. Rasso, where they're making those 2 other changes that led straight into another goal. I think Gareth Taylor's got to be pleased with a good day's work.
Birthday on Friday for Gareth Taylor. Deserves a couple more cold ones after this. Nice early kick-off for him as well, so plenty of time to sit back and relax. Rasso just evades Angeldal. Bo Risa. It was Hansen who his pass was intercepted. It was just about gathered by Mary Earps.
Sure, she would have been pleased to see that end up in her hands with the run of Shaw just across that near post, as she said, just made it into her hands. And on a day that hasn't ended up well for Manchester United, that wouldn't have been the way we'd want to see it finish.
So Siobhan, it's time to ask your FA Women's Cup Player of the Match.
For me, it's got to be the player that's made the biggest impact in this game, Caroline Weir. Since she's come on, she's changed that midfield, how dynamic it is, moving forward. She's got herself a goal. Rasso was close, but for me, Caroline Weir's just edged it.
Well, the starring role in a defeat to Manchester United, they must be sick of the sight of her.
Most definitely, and I think for me, the character she shows, even when she's not on that starting lineup, to still come onto the pitch, make the impact she does, whether it's a 10-minute cameo to score a goal, or whether it's a 45 minutes to come on and show exactly what she can do. Every time and time again, she gives you results.
Blackstad just offside there. Rasso nicks it off Blundell, who's not going to catch her. Putting on the afterburners. Rasso, Shaw. It's parried again, and as Blackstad put it into the net, the referee blew for a foul on Onabadia. Manchester United keep it at 4-1. Oh, she's given it. 5-1. They were sure it was a foul. And Manchester City have 5. Lovely flowing move. Hayley Rasso at the centre of it.
Still seems to be some kind of confusion here as to whether it is a goal or whether it's... I'm not sure she has given it as a goal. Ona Badje definitely down on the ground in significant pain here. Rasso starts it as she follows in. She does foul Ona Badje, and the referee has now given a free kick to Manchester United.
So a rare bit of light in this second half.
I think it's probably the right decision. You saw as Badje was there trying to defend the ball, Hayley Rasso came through the back of her. Thankfully, it's not a moment that's going to completely change the game. You hate to see refereeing decisions impacting games like that. I think the game's well and truly already done.
Blackstad thought she'd had her first Manchester City goal, which is going to be part of a big Manchester City win. 4 minutes of time added on. Soon, still down, and eventually she does get the foul. Restart quickly.
Manchester United stepping up these last 4 minutes with a bit more intensity, but I think it's a little bit too late for now.
Zella managed to get around Rasso, beats her again, and delivers. Fuso's touch though, a little bit heavy. She's done well to get back and keep possession. Well, Manchester United are beaten, well beaten, but still trying to perhaps finish with something positive.
I think if you can finish with a flurry of positivity, even if you lose the game, if you can get a late goal, gives you something to hold on to moving forwards, to show that you've got the right mentality, the right attitude to keep stepping it up even in tough times.
In space, allowed to drive forward. 2 minutes left of time added on. Weir. Good run from Blackstad and good defending. Caldwell, goal kick.
Good defending, covering across there from Caldwell. Another beautiful through ball from Caroline Weir. I think sometimes she just makes football look easy. She's so technically gifted. The weight on the pass was just perfect, almost.
She always looks like she's got a little bit more time than everyone else.
You see some people play football and it just looks like it comes so naturally to them, and you think, this is someone that knows how to play football a little bit.
Well, City have shown good character. Perhaps earlier in the season this wouldn't have happened. They conceded careless goals and didn't come back from it, but greater resilience now.
Definitely, and I think it was easy to criticise Ellie Roebuck for that first goal, but I think since she's come back into this side, it's definitely given them more of an air of confidence, playing out through that back line.
They could yet get their fifth. Ball just runs away from Weir. Burisa. Toon, that's an excellent pass to Kirsty Hansen. Showing a good turn of pace. It's Hansen.
Brilliant turn of pace there from Kirsty Hansen. That's exactly what we know she can do. She's come back out to that left-hand side, but she's not just dominant on that left foot. The way she can cut in and deliver with her right foot is excellent.
Full time, and it's Manchester United who book their place in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. A second-half blitz did it for Manchester United. It all started so well with Katie Zellem's corner, giving Manchester United a first-half lead, but City just blew them away in the second. It's another positive result for the blue side of Manchester. The red side will be glad to see the back of them for the rest of this season at least. Siobhan, a mature performance in the end from City.
A really mature performance, and as I said before, to be able to have a poor first half like they did, but to still keep themselves in contention, only be 1 goal down when they're going in at half-time, it always gives you that chance, and you know that you've got the players, the ability on the pitch, but also on the bench to come on and make changes. And credit to Gareth Taylor for the substitutions that he made, for the players that came on and made the difference. They were absolutely magnificent in that second half.
So it is Manchester City who go through to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup at the expense of their noisy neighbours. Full-time at Leigh Sports Village. Manchester United 1, Manchester City 4.
Yes, what a game it was, and what a turnaround shown by Manchester City. Real fight and class shown by them in the second half. Rachel, how do you sum up this game?
2 substitutions at half-time. Rasso, Caroline Weir came on and injected that energy, that front foot play that Manchester City needed. I think Manchester United dominated that first half and deservedly were ahead. Big talking to at half-time from Gareth Taylor, made those changes, and it was a completely different Manchester City team from the outset in the second half, and United just simply couldn't cope with it. It was onslaught after onslaught after onslaught. They pegged them back and they made their quality count ultimately.
Yeah, Willie, do you think it was that experience shown by Manchester City in the second half to turn things around?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if we ever needed living proof that a game was not done after 45 minutes, we've just seen it. You know, we spoke at half-time that United had done well, but they'd also conceded Man City entries in the final third down the United's left-hand side, and Razo came on and added a bit of quality that Jess Park hadn't been giving them, so they got those deliveries, and you know, when they got on top, I think you're right, the experience that City have got to maintain that momentum, and maybe United's lack of that, you know, big game sort of knowledge how to win those games. I think that's, they've not had any leaders on the pitch who's managed to bring the group together and say, look, we get through the next 10 without conceding, but to lose 3 goals in 10 minutes is very disappointing from their perspective.
Yeah, well, when people say it's a game of 2 halves, we definitely saw that today. But a player you highlighted at the start of the show, Rachel, Lauren Hemp, and straight away in the second half made an impact and showed the quality that she possesses.
She did, and she was exceptional. In the first half, she was City's most dangerous player, but then in the second half to get the goals, they're outnumbered 4v3 Manchester United, criminal. Katie Zellem doesn't get back to mark up, but it's Lauren Hemp, hangs out left here, makes Ona Badje draw in central because she's got to protect that central area, leaves Lauren Hemp spare at the back, and we saw how clinical she can be in her recent form, does what she does from a wide play, cuts in, gets herself in a position where she can affect the ball and the goal, and slots home perfectly.
Yeah, and I like what you said there as well. It's that timing, isn't it? Knowing from a winger when to hang out and actually when to come in and affect play. And another player full of experience, full of knowing when to show up in those big moments, Willie, Ellen White, making it 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ellen showed her experience, showed her worth. You know, we obviously were a little bit critical of her at half-time in terms of we felt she had done better defending the United goal, but her experience there is fantastic. The composure just to put the goalkeeper down and then score with ease in the end. But I think she led that line very, very well in the second half.
You can see Ellen White gambling. She can see that Hannah Blundell's about to head it back, thinks, oh, it might not quite make it to the goalkeeper. Mary Earps had no option other than to try and hold her ground to delay Ellen White. But again, how clinical Ellen White is in that position. Proper strikers, nous to preempt that situation, and then clinical finish as well.
And the goals just kept on flowing and flowing. And a player that loves a goal in a derby game, Caroline Weir.
She was magnificent. That second half, for me, was the difference between the two teams. She got into pockets between the back line of Manchester United's defence and midfield, was able to turn and slot passes through, was an option for the likes of Alex Greenwood in the first half, Lucy Bronze. It was almost like a luxury that Manchester City didn't have in the first half, and maybe a fateful substitution of Vicky Losada having that injury just before half-time. But here Caroline Weir finds herself in the box. Again, Lauren Hemp, beautiful timing of the run to peel off. Can't defend this one. As a goalkeeper, I would love to defend Mary Earps, but plain and simple, it's a mistake. Is she slightly rattled from the mistake, the miscommunication to her and Hannah Blundell just a few minutes before? I'm not sure. But the timing of that run to check away, Caroline Weir, check away from a marker, to be able to receive the ball. The strike should never end up in the back of the net, but she was the difference for City.
Yeah, she certainly was. And actually, let's hear from the goal scorer herself. She's joined pitchside with Jo Curry.
Well, Caroline, huge congratulations. City are through to the quarterfinals. You made it look relatively easy in the end, was it?
No, I think you saw in the first half, United made it really difficult for us. They obviously got a goal. And yeah, we knew it was always going to be difficult. It's always hard coming here. And at half-time, we just spoke about making sure we're doing the right things, upping the tempo a little bit. And we did that in the second half and obviously got the rewards in the end.
You're at it again, scoring in another derby game. Maybe not the spectacular this week, but what is it about these big derby games that you love so much?
I mean, you can't really beat a derby, obviously, in Manchester, that you're either blue or red. So, yeah, I think we thrive in the atmosphere. The fans make it what it is. And, yeah, personally, I love a derby. We love to win. And, yeah, we've done that again today.
You know what it's like to win the FA Cup with Manchester City at Wembley. How much has that experience driving you and the rest of these players on to go and do it again this year?
Yeah, it's massive. I think it's at the end of the season. It's something to look forward to. We want to be up there competing for a trophy, and the FA Cup doesn't get much bigger. So, yeah, that's always in our heads, going into a massive FA Cup game like it was today, and hopefully we'll get there, but obviously there's still a few more games to go.
Well, Caroline, you are today's player of the match. Massive congratulations on the win. I'll let you go and enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you.
Yeah, made a huge impact. And that was 3-1, but we've got another one to get through. 4-1, Bunny Shaw coming into the game and straight immediately having an impact, Willie.
Yeah, we spoke about Emma Hayes at Chelsea and, the depth that she's got in her squad, but, when you can bring Bunny Shaw off the bench, and that's the last thing the Man United defenders wanted to see today, just to freshen up that front line. And, again, Mary Herpers will be really disappointed with letting the ball come off her there, but Bunny Shaw shows a real striker's instinct to follow up and put the game to bed.
Yeah. So that made it 4-1, and as you can see right now, we are joined by one of the goal scorers. Ellen, thank you for coming over. We have to ask, because obviously the difference from the first half to the second half, what was said at half time?
Can't possibly divulge that.
Go on, give us some info. As long as it's clean.
Yeah. No, I think obviously our intensity, our build-up play, and then also in the final third, wanting to be more clinical. But yeah, we definitely upped that intensity, I felt. We definitely pressed them higher. And just all around the pitch, I thought we were really clinical and really much better kind of on the ball, really.
Ellen, just on the back of the Arnold Clark Cup, and congratulations on
Thank
that. But as an international player, does it help or hinder coming back to club football and straight into a game the size of that?
I think that's just the nature of being an international, to be honest. I love playing for my country, and obviously I love playing for City, and that's what comes hand in hand with it, that you come back and you've got probably 2 or 3 training sessions with the team before a big game like this. But yeah, obviously, it's all about recovery and getting ready for this game, but I think it just comes part and parcel with being international and then being a City player.
How's it felt to have the England #1 back between the sticks for you at Manchester City?
Amazing. You know, she's brilliant. You know, she's great on the ball for our build-up play, but then also to have someone, you know, who, you know, we really trust in goal. So yeah, we're delighted to have her back and fit and raring to go, really.
You can see she's been practicing her Cruyffs and her drag backs.
Yeah, I did wonder who had taught her that, to be fair. But fair play, she just jumped on it and we kept possession, so, you know, I'm not going to say too much about that.
But Ellen, like you said, the games do keep coming and coming, and when you think about now putting this one to the side and the big one that you now have next week against Chelsea in a League Cup final, how are you going to prepare for that? What does the week look like?
Yeah, obviously, you know, we'll probably have tomorrow off, but yeah, obviously we'll enjoy this game, but, you know, we play football because we want to win trophies, and this is a big, big game for us, playing against Chelsea in the Conti final, like you say. So, yeah, we'll rest, recover, and, you know, we'll be really excited for that game, and we'll be more than ready for it.
Okay, Ellen, thank you for joining us. We'll let you get off and enjoy those celebrations. Okay, it's time to head back to Joe Curry, who is joined by Manchester United's manager, Mark Skinner.
Well, Mark, it was a dominant performance from United in the first half, but it all seemed to unravel after the break. What went wrong?
We didn't compete second half. There's loads of tactical things you can do, technical things. I think even some of the Man City players, they mixed it physically and we didn't match it. And that's just really disappointing. That's where I will be disappointed. We didn't mix the physicality of the game. If you lose too many of those duels, you don't win the game. And we took our foot off that in the second half. We didn't become fearful of Manchester City, it was just the individual duels. I can't accept that, and that's something that we will continue to work with as a group. That's where we've lost the game today.
You're obviously disappointed with the scoreline, which is disappointed, but which is understandable, but how disappointed were you with the manner of some of those goals?
Well, the goals are not great at all, and there's things that we can obviously do, but there are moments before that lead to that shot or that chance. So that's where we have to fix it. You can't just wait till the last moment and then fix that. So for us, I'm just more important. I'm disappointed in that duel. That's what I'm disappointed, because that's the things that will get us winning games and moving teams. So if you want to compete with this team on a consistent basis, you have to win those duels, and that's what we're going to do.
Thanks for speaking to us, Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah, he looks really disappointed there. You can hear and see the frustration that he feels. But then will that have a positive or negative effect on those players when you see your manager like that?
Well, you don't often see Mark Skinner angry, and that's what he looks like to me. But you compare the first half performance and how they applied the game plan Manchester United, and it was successful. Not only did they hold Manchester City to really limited chances, but they obviously scored as well and got themselves ahead. So to go out and, as he said, to not match them physically, which is what they did not do in that second half as a starting point, is really disappointing when you know you can do it because you've done it for 45 minutes.
Yeah, okay, well, a huge congratulations to Manchester City as they progress to the quarter-final of the FA Cup. And just a quick reminder to next week, it's a big game, it's the League Cup final, which you can watch on BBC Two at 5 o'clock. Thank you, Willie, thank you, Rachel, for joining me. Well, derbies never disappoint, do they? A huge congratulations to Manchester City running away with that one 4-1. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again soon.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Derby Day again. Selling delivery, and it's all the way in. It's White, and City lead. The touch was heavy, but she got there all the same. Blackstad, good save, and it's put in the rebound. Bunny Shaw, just seconds after coming onto the pitch, puts Manchester City into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup.